Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So carrying on with the ELCERAM. So this will be the final video of this one for all the settings and everything. But we do have another bunch of menus. There's not an awful lot on each one of these, so I'm going to cover this in one video. But it's nice to know that it's there and what the functionalities are for. Until we get the RC that this is going to go in, then I'll be able to show fitting it and everything like that. But for now, let's bring you in, give you a close-up look of the sort of configuration menus. This is another layer down under your basic settings, which I've done all the videos on. So let's bring you in for a close-up look and see what we find. Right, so to enter this menu, we're going to press these two buttons. We're going to keep them held. First, it'll go into a normal menu. Then we can see it'll jump to the customizations. So our first one on here, if we press and hold as program button, primary display. So this is which display it switches to when you first hit these buttons. So we start on throttle. You can have brakes, reverse, boost, turbo, haul angle, drift setting, config screen, protect screen, BEC, RX calibrate screen, profile screen. So you can choose any of them as stock. It's set on throttle. If we drop down to the next one, this is where we change the temperature reading from degrees C to degrees Fahrenheit. If we drop down again, you've got the option of having the splash screen, so when you first power it up, you can have that on or off. It depends if you're bothered. It doesn't make it boot up any quicker or slower having it on or off. It's just if you want that splash screen to show. Next is how you have the blinky mode displayed. So we can have it blinking with the word blinky. You can have static blinky. You can have it blinking stock. You can have it static stock, blinking zero timing, or static zero timing. So whichever one of them makes more sense at your track. Now if we click save. Next, we've got the graph customization screen. So we can have this as low as 18 seconds. And we can go up in a few steps. You've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 40 or 80. And this is for how long it'll record in one go. Then we've got the maximum RPM of the graph. So you can have it maxed out from 50, and I believe it's all the way up as high as 120 RPM. Or we can go as low, I think, is it around 30? No, 10,000 RPM you can have the base on that one. So it's just to make the graph easier. If you're not running the motor all the way up to 50,000 and your peak's about 28,000, you could have it peaking at 30. It just makes the graph easier to read. Then we've got its auto detect. So as options on this are off, no RX, no throttle, no RX or throttle. And the stock one on this is no RX. And then you've got a delay, so you can have this as low as, I believe, 1 second, or you can have the delay all the way up to 30 seconds. Stock is 10, so it'll give a 10-second delay. Just nice to have in case you've been working on your RC and you got somewhat unplugged. Then we've got as voltage calibration. So on here, you can plug a voltmeter into your battery and then change the battery voltage to be exactly what your really accurate voltmeter's reading. And again, same for the BEC. Although you can set the BEC output, you can have the BEC voltage and you can calibrate this. So if you've got a really accurate voltmeter, you can plug it into your receiver plus and minus, and you can make this reading read exactly the same as your voltmeter. Then same for temperature, so you can alter the temperature of it, and you can also alter it's sort of the way that the temperature is calibrated, so we can go in and change that. And if you've got your motor and your motor's compatible with it, you'll get the motor temperature. And if you've got a really calibrated temperature device, you can correct any of these values just same as you can on other screen. Then we've got as firmware version. Still not found any way of updating this, but maybe that's to come. And then we've got the credits. So tells you who's done the software, who's done the hardware. Quite nice that they've added that on. And then we've got a factory reset option where you can just press and hold and it'll reset the whole thing to factory settings, and then you go back to your config screen. And to get out of this, you just press and hold the two buttons and it's back to our main menu. And the splash screen, because I'm not sure if I've shown this powering up, but basically the splash screen is that, and it boots up instantly, but you do get the splash screen, and if you turn it off it'll just boot straight into this screen. But yeah, hopefully that covers just about everything you'd need to know on it. It is a cracking little ESC. Can't wait to get this fitted into an RC and have some real fun with it and play around with alt settings and see how it runs. But let's wrap this one up. So there we have the final video for now on the ELCERAM Nitride ESC. Fascinating bit of kit. Really impressed with it. Over all these starts and restarts I've done and tampering around with settings and that, not one crash, glitch or anything on it so far, which is looking very good for something that you're going to be battering around a track constantly. Love how quick it starts up. Everything about it seems to be brilliantly thought out. Interesting that the firmware that comes on these when you're getting them from Schumacher is different to the original firmware, as I've done my best to cover the bits in it. The instruction manual could do with updating, even the online manual could do with updating, so ELCERAM team, please, yeah, get that a bit more up to date. But hopefully the video series I've done on this should put you in the right direction, or at least give you enough information to judge what all these settings do. Love the fact that they've put the options in there to calibrate temperature and the voltages. I know quite a few guys are really into setting correct voltages and everything, and the fact that it can read them out all the time, so at a glance, really nice that you can calibrate these and make sure they're absolutely perfect and up to your own standards. Don't think they're actually far off to start with. I have checked it with one of my multimeters and it seems to agree with it pretty bang on. But yeah, thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. Hopefully you find this useful, entertaining, just like listening to my incessant ramblings. But don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.